The Deputy Minister for Energy, Honorable Andrew Japamesa, has stressed the need for African governments to prioritize energy security in the ongoing conversations around the transition on the continent. He was speaking at Ghana National Gas Company's 2023 Stakeholders Roundtable discussion held in Accra on Tuesday, 4 July under the theme Embracing New Gas Markets in the Energy Transition Discourse, the Role of Stakeholders. According to him, energy security is a real challenge in many parts of the continent, a situation which has been further compounded by the Russia-Ukraine crisis. It is thus imperative for states with such challenges to address the concerns of energy security before the question of transition can even be discussed.
But you see, the real question then is what is more important, energy transition or energy security? Because I've been at various international forums where African governments take the view that we do not even have the energy to begin the transition in the first place. Recall that only last year when Russia struck, people started taking their coal plants on. So the question of energy transition was relegated to the background. People then began to focus on energy security. And so in the conversation, we need to avert our minds to the need for us to energize our economy first. Yes, there are technologies that we can leverage on now that will make our transition shorter. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, go through the same process that the Europeans and Americans and nations are going through. But obviously, that should always inform our people.
Honorable Mesa appreciated all energy sector players embracing the energy transition in the country. He touched on ongoing developments in the sector and the huge financial investments government needs to realize the ambitious 2070 targets. He further called for the stakeholders' active involvement and contributions to energy transition to realize the clean agenda. Individuals from the various sector institutions present raised various concerns in the proposition of gas as a transitional fuel and also made critical recommendations to ensure that its use is accomplished. Energy experts, including lawyer Kwame Jantwa of the Africa Energy Consortium, the executive director of the Africa Center for Energy Policy, Benjamin Boache, and others, raised concerns over the total estimable value of gas in the country and called for an audit of all available gas reserves and to explore other alternatives to gas in fuels like hydrogen and other utilization aspects as well.
We talked about gas transition fuel. The possibility is that we might not have enough gas. Have we done the value audit of the gas we have so far? How are we looking at alternatives to gas? So for instance, hydrogen, how is that derived? It's derived from CO2. Solar panels give out CO2. How do we capture that to burn the gas? How do we do that? What is the plan to put these things together looking into the future? We need to set up an R&D department where it looks across board how we move forward into this transition.
Further to that, stakeholders also advised that the government put all relevant policy initiatives and appropriate regulations in place to ensure that the full potential of gas for Ghana's transition is realized. They also noted that a National Research and Development Department is in order to put these data together holistically in the future.
We have opportunity when the oil, the gas is relevant, and we have to optimize that space through the system. How do you optimize the decision to ensure that the investment, the infrastructure that you are putting in this can't be used when they are really critical or they are needed when it is really critical? So they are not just throwing money, only to realize that you don't need it, but you're paying for it. So we should optimize the gas for as long as it is relevant. But let's not take our eye off what is happening on the renewable technology side of things. We have to pay attention to that space, invest in research and development, so that the market is not left to the West again, and then we start complaining, why are we not playing in that market?
They also emphasized for concerted efforts between the government and other African states in terms of investment and finance. The National Petroleum Authority's Upper East Regional Office has launched an operation to shut down 16 illicit reseller stores known as Gao Gao in the region. The NPA said in a statement on Tuesday that the region had seen an alarming proliferation of reseller outlets selling petroleum products without authorization from the NPA in areas such as Pelungu, Dusi, Pani, Shiga, Tongo, Gari, Chuchuliga, Bogaso, Sirigu, Bongo, Zono, Namoga, Sakote, Soko, and Pale. According to the Upper East Regional Manager of NPA, Mr. Bashiru Natoma, the NPA Act prohibits any person other than one licensed under the Act from having a petroleum product in quantities that were unreasonable in comparison to that person's immediate requirement. He noted that those locations lacked the requisite safety precautions and infrastructure to safely handle and store petroleum products. He stated that the operation's goal was to maintain the quality, pricing, and safety of petroleum products in retailing. It also warned the public about the risk of purchasing petroleum products from unauthorized reseller outlets and encouraged them to buy from authorized reseller outlets and fuel stations. The statement further warned oil marketing companies that were involved in this illegal act to stop immediately and obtain adequate assistance on how to legitimately run reseller outlets. It cautioned that if OMCs were detected delivering petroleum products to these unauthorized reseller outlets, the regulator would harshly punish them. Namibia has quickly risen to become a highly attractive E&P market, with 3 major discoveries made in 2022 and 2023, incentivizing a strong slate of regional and global players to the country's offshore basins. Eager to maintain this exploratory momentum, Magishino, Petroleum Commissioner at Namibia's Ministry of Mines and Energy, recently said, for now, the government has no plans in place to change the current licensing structure in the country, but rather it is committed to ensuring that the upstream market is open for investment. According to Shino, the government has an ongoing drilling campaign with 3 rigs currently busy drilling appraisal and exploration wells, that it is expecting 2 more wells to be drilled before the end of 2023 in the deep waters. She added that the Southern African country is seeing a rise in seismic surveys, and by the end of the year, the government is planning to announce a series of drilling projects that will take place in 2024. To date, the Orange Basin represents the only de-risked acreage in Namibia. However, ongoing seismic campaigns in the Namibia and Walvis basins are likely to reveal sizable finds, particularly following successful exploration campaigns in the Angolan side of the offshore acreage. Meanwhile, as a nascent energy market, Namibia has the opportunity to learn from those that went before it. Visit energyghana.com or energyghana.com for more on these stories. Energy Brief is proudly brought to you by Airport View Hotel.
Energy Ghana TV. Local in focus, global in perspective.